Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Extra Time TV. This is Sooklal, and today we're going to continue speaking about the Copa America. We're in the semifinals. Argentina take on Brazil, Peru take on Chile. But the first game we're going to speak about is the Argentina versus Brazil game. This fixture needs no introduction. Titans of the game. Many think that both teams have something to prove. Argentina, being the bridesmaid, but never the bride for the last couple of years. Many years, in fact. In fact, I'll leave a little trivia for you guys. Can you tell me how many finals Argentina have gotten to since they last won the World Cup? It's been a lot, trust me. Put it in the comment section below. When you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a copy of FIFA 19 from the kind folks of my store. Moving along, both teams have not been playing well. Brazil at home, a lot of people have been expecting them to play the Brazilian football. They were booed by their fans in the first game, and eventually they did enough to get into the knockout stages. They made a hard job of defeating Paraguay. Eventually, penalty kicks had to separate both teams. It was pretty difficult, but they eventually got it. Argentina lost and drew their first game and eventually got it right against Qatar. And, they were also, a lot of question marks were raised about them. Both teams seem to do enough to get in. Scaloni and his men, as well as Brazil, have a lot of questions to answer. Today, we're not alone. Once again, joining us, our Argentine correspondent, who is in Italy right now, Miguel Romeo, and Sivan from Malaysia, our Argentine expert, are here to give us their thoughts on this fixture and how it's going to play out. So, Sivan, we're going to start with you. What do you think about both teams' chances, Argentina and Brazil, heading into this game? Let me know your initial thoughts.
Hello, Andre and everyone on Extra Time TV. Well, what can you say? When it comes to Brazil versus Argentina, this is the zenith fixture of international football in South America. And it's happening in a Copa America semifinal. So I think it's fair to say that we can look forward to a classic football game. How do I see this game going? Well, Brazil, of course, against Paraguay, they needed to ride their luck on a penalty shootout. To beat a 10-man Paraguay, to be precise. So it depends on which Brazil team that we might see in the semi-final. Although I think playing against Argentina in a semi-final and all that, I think there's a lot of motivation in this Brazil team to put up a much better performance. So I can't see how Argentina is not going to concede a goal, and I also see it difficult for how they're going to score against a Brazil team, with Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Dani Alves, and Felipe Luis in the back line. So it's really going to be a tough day for Argentina, in my opinion. Not that they did I think they did pretty well against Venezuela, even though it's fair to say that both goals were actually a result of the goalkeeper's mistake. But I think they exceeded everyone's expectation to come this far despite of their poor form. And it remains to be seen, which Argentina is going to turn up in the semi-final. For me, the biggest question mark is whether Lionel Messi will finally show himself in this Copa America, because as we know, in the last two games he has been sort of a non-existent player in this Argentina team. No doubt at the same time when other players have stepped up, but I think against Brazil, Argentina may need him to produce some magic if they were to stand a chance to play in the final.
What about you, Miguel? What are your thoughts on both teams heading into this fixture?
Hey, Andre, and hey, everybody at Extra Time TV. Thanks for having me again. It's always a pleasure. Let's hope we get we keep the positive energy coming for Argentina, as all the fans keep commenting below. My thoughts for this game, of course, like I said last time, this is not just another game. This is our historical rival, Brazil. It's always a final against Brazil. However, I must admit, even though our last game was our best game in this Copa America, that this is not our best Argentina side. We all know that. From history, as everybody wants to say now, this might be even the worst Argentina side that we have seen. But having said that, of course we do have our weapons. I think our weapons can hurt Brazil, more so individually though than as team play. This is the part that I don't like, that I would like to see as a project, as Scaloni continues to work with this national team. If if possible, that is my thing. I don't think we're playing as a team so much. I think we're more dependent on our attackers, which is obviously our strength. But I do think we gotta build again our identity, our mentality. Is it possession? Is it, which I hope, is it counterattack, which I hope not.
So, gentlemen, Argentina seems to have improved as the tournament goes along. It shows a lot of character because they started off really poorly. Are they playing at their usual standard? Of course not. They are not playing by the standard set by themselves over the many years of watching Argentinian football. But it seems as if they got things right at least to get to this point. Scaloni is trying various tactics, as well as Brazil. What do you guys think, in particular, Scaloni needs to do? Sivan?
Now, in terms of the approach for this game, I think Scaloni is very likely to maintain the same starting 11 against Venezuela. I don't see him making too many changes at all at this stage of the competition. It won't be wise to do so. And if there's any change I would like to see is perhaps Lo Celso back in the lineup instead of Marcos Acuna. Juan Foyth and right back wasn't really a bad idea against Venezuela, but I think against Brazil it might be a little bit too hard for him to handle. So putting Saravia there I don't think that's a bad idea at all. So it depends how Scaloni looks at this situation. Again, I think Paulo Dybala needs to be given a little bit more time on the field. I think Scaloni needs to be patient with him. Then only we can see him producing some goods. Martinez, I think he's going to be the main man, the focal point when it comes to goal. I don't want to see Di Maria anywhere near the team at all. I don't see him, he hasn't really produced anything significant so far, so I don't see him, doing something magical against Brazil. But of course, to me, the biggest question mark remains on whether or not we will see Messi, the little Messi that we're so used to seeing, because it's just a very odd situation that when Argentina is playing well, he seems to be a non-effective player on this team. So it's really an interesting game to look forward to. To be honest, I really can't wait for this game. It's hard for me to see Argentina winning this game, but at the same time, I'm optimist that maybe something spectacular is going to happen, or else otherwise, to me, Brazil are the favorites, so they might just breeze through and make it to the final.
So, Miguel, what do you think Lionel Scaloni and his men need to do to approach this game against Brazil?
Difficult. Of course, Brazil is one of the best national teams in the world, even though, to be honest, this, I think, has a huge mental factor to come back and play same stage as the World Cup and same field as when they lost 7-1 to Germany. So this will play on their mind, even though they're very, very professional, even though they're huge players in all of their teams. So are ours, our Argentinian players in their teams, they're superstars. But then when it comes to national team, it's a whole different story. They're on home turf, so they have to prove to their people that they're ready for this, that they are going to win the Copa America. And it's not easy. Their first game, they were getting booed at halftime because it was 0-0. Then they came back to win 2-0, but they do have, I think, more pressure than us because they're at home. I hope that we obviously come out on top and Lautaro keeps doing his thing. But again, we don't know how our starting 11. Scaloni, I think, on purpose is not talking to the media about our starting 11 to try and keep this kind of a secret, maybe secret weapon to surprise Tite, their coach and players. But when it comes down to it, it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be a battle, and I think we're going to miss Mascherano in the center mid for sure. When it comes down to the center mid, where the battle is won, in my opinion, we gotta be stronger physically. We gotta be tougher. We gotta win our one-on-one battles, and we're lacking that a little bit. So I hope on that aspect we buckle down a bit, and then when it comes down to the quality up top, we have it.
So, gentlemen, your final thoughts, Sivan? We'll start with you. How do you think this game is going to turn out in the end?
So, for me, the outcome of this game, well, in the Brazilian team, there has plenty of match winners. You have Firmino, Coutinho, Gabriel Jesus, and all that. I just can't see how they're going to not going to win this game. I just can't see how Argentina can able to stop this Brazilian attack, especially when you have a defense with Nicolas Otamendi, marshalling that back line. So I'm a fan of Argentina. I have that little bit of optimism that they can produce something in this game to make it to the final. But realistically, I think Brazil might just win this game by at least 2-0. I don't see how Argentina is going to score against this Brazilian defense, and I can't see how Argentina's defense is going to be able to stop this Brazilian attack from not scoring. So that's pretty much my prediction for this semi-final.
Miguel, what do you think?
Everybody here in Italy is asking me Argentina, Brazil, how's it gonna go? I hope 1-0, I'll be happy. Let's put it that way.
So there you have it, folks. Our wonderful correspondent, Miguel Romeo, the Argentine in Italy, giving us his thoughts. And Sivan John, all the way from Malaysia, the Argentine expert. Check out some of his blogs. I'll put the description in the link below. So with that being said, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Where are you going to be for this game? What do you think is going to happen? Our Twitter polls are saying it slightly favors Brazil. But who knows? These games we can analyze how much we want, we don't know. So let us know in the comment section what you think, because when you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance, as I said before, to win a copy of FIFA 19 and also other cool prizes from the kind folks of my store. So once again, thank you for joining us and stay tuned for our Peru versus Chile discussion. I hope you all enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, because if you don't, a baby puppy cries. Aww.